No, the title is not made up. Someone has stolen the Grey Knights. Well, the dead Grey Knights, which we'll go into in a second in the video. This is brand new Warhammer 40,000 lore in the brand new Grey Knight codex. There's nothing about the Terminus decree in this video, but this may be a hint to future model releases. Could we potentially see a Legion of the Damned style Grey Knight release? Maybe, just maybe. Let's jump in, let's look at it, and let's get waffling. A big shout out to a chap called Morkai who provided me with this information. He mentioned it on a live stream a couple of days ago, and I'm going to put it in the background right now and read from it. Again, this is taken from the brand new Grey Knight Codex. So the text in the background states, the Chamber of Trial provides the stage for the arduous training undergone by those prospective Grey Knights. While, should they prevail long enough to fight and die in the Emperor's service, the torchlit catacombs of the dead fields wait to receive their carefully cleansed and warded remains. So it has been for millennia. Yet, in the wake of the Noctis Eterna, a strange phenomenon struck that has left the Grey Knights deeply disquieted. In a single night, entirely unobserved, all remains held within the dead fields vanished without a trace. Where they went, or what power could have been responsible for such a supernatural theft within the heart of the Citadel, remains thus far a tragic mystery the chapter has not yet been able to unpick. So basically, from that text, the Grey Knights have had their bodies robbed. The honoured fallen who have been buried, who have been cleansed, who have done their duty, have literally just vanished. Now, there's two sides to this coin. There is the Emperor side of the coin, what I want to discuss, and also the Chaos side of the coin. Let's start with the Chaos one first, because this happened during the Great Rift. So it looks like potentially Chaos shenanigans could be working its way on Titan. The only thing that makes me think that it maybe not be is the Grey Knights themselves, their fortress monastery on Titan is one of the Imperium's best kept secrets. So for Chaos to learn about this, this is a really big dagger to the heart of the Grey Knights, who are basically there to fight against Chaos. That is their main duty. They are the bulwark against Chaos, especially now that the Chaos is invading everywhere in the galaxy. So maybe Chaos shenanigans, maybe they could get in their bodies, possessing them, doing twisted stuff to them. Imagine a range of like dead, possessed Grey Knights, like the Imperium's greatest weapon against Chaos, taken, like transformed into something ghastly demonette and like slung back at the Grey Knights. That would be a massive slap in the face of not only the Grey Knights but the Imperium itself. Now, as much as Chaos shenanigans sounds awesome, sounds cool, I want to look at this from the Imperial perspective, because I think that this is the Imperium's doing. And it's not an Inquisitor, it's not another Grey Knight, it's not a Custodian trying to stop the Terminus decree. Let's not talk about that, okay? This is from the Emperor. This is my headcanon, right? The greatest threat to the Imperium right now is Chaos. They split the galaxy in half, right? Chaos is pouring out. Demons are pouring out. One thing it mentions in this new Grey Knight Codex is that the Grey Knights are really on the back foot. They've dropped below like 1,000 Marines now because they're constantly fighting like demon incursions. Warp rifts are popping up everywhere. They are literally taking a beating everywhere they go. What if the Emperor has saw in his divine wisdom, with his divine power, right? He's taken these bodies and he's going to redo an army of basically undead Grey Knights, like a spiritual army to fight the forces of Chaos. This is why I mentioned Legion of the Damned at the start of the video. What if potentially from a model perspective, tell me what you think about this, we get something like the Legion of the Damned Grey Knight. If you look at the Legion of the Damned, they have a massive following. The models used to look absolutely fantastic. Fire, flames, the lore about them was really, really cool. They used to pop up, purge everything, then disappear. From a story perspective, I was always a bit iffy, like 50-50 on them, because they were always used where they had kind of no dialect, popped up and just disappeared. It was like always a way for authors to write an ending where they didn't really know an ending. It's like, oh, the Legion of the Damned show up, kill everyone, then they disappear. But from a rule of cool perspective, they're just awesome. They're amazing. And all those models have disappeared. And we want something like that back in the game. We want something like that back as model collectors because, again, it's the rule of cool. They look amazing. They look awesome. We want to put models on our shelves that look amazing. So what if we get something like that with the Grey Knights where they're not really like on fire or something? Maybe they're like warp spirits. If I'm not mistaken, please correct me if I'm wrong, back in 5th edition, was it, when the Grey Knight Codex first dropped, Matt Ward, who wrote it, didn't he say like there were like spiritual Grey Knights who used to like protect figures and stuff like that? Maybe this is got to be something built upon that lore where we move into. Maybe not model format, but maybe in terms of actual book lore, narrative lore, to be used at the latter periods when the GW authors or narrative team want to use something like this. I think one of the cool things about this is the mystery behind it. Again, we've literally just spoken about some Grey Knight stuff, which was a mystery and is now not a mystery. And it's took a little bit of the spice, a little bit of the, you know, the little bit of the rule of cool away from the Grey Knights. Of course, that's a Terminus decree. We all know what that's about now. But now that these chaps have been stolen, to what purpose, how they're going to be used, maybe it's just going to be left as that. No one knows what the hell has happened, right? Where are these bodies of the Grey Knights? Who's going to use them? What if it's Fabius Bile? Oh, my holy emperor. I didn't even think about Fabius. It can't be Fabius because he doesn't know about Titan or the Grey Knights or anything like that. Well, we don't think he knows about Titus or the Grey Knights. Maybe one of the Chaos Gods told him. Maybe Slanesh told him like himself. Or I absolutely don't know, right? But someone has stolen the Grey Knights, and this is technically a future plot now for Games Workshop to explore, to go down and stuff like that. I like it. I like reading little blurbs of text like this. There's actually a lot of new stuff kind of like this in these new codexes, which I am going to cover in future videos. The next one I want to talk about, probably not this week, next week, is that the 4th Brotherhood has disappeared. The 4th Brotherhood was the Brotherhood that fought on Armageddon with Helbrecht and Logan Grimnar. Of course, they lost their Grandmaster fighting against Angron and stuff. Well, I say lost. Well, we don't know if he's alive or not. He literally got ripped into like a warp portal, taking down Angron. And they've disappeared now, completely disappeared. And these big rumors potentially about what's going to happen with them. There's a lot of future stuff being set up for future narratives, which I'm really excited about. But again, I'll cover that in a separate video. I just wanted to cover, like, you know, someone robbing the great... Do you know what? Do you know what I never thought of? Dawn of War 4 is going to be announced this month. What if it's the Blood Ravens? Mother of the Holy Emperor, right? Dawn of War 4... It's all about Blood Ravens wearing Grey Knight armor, pretending to be Grey Knights, fighting the forces of chaos. Mother of God, we have cracked the code. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. I'd love to get your thoughts, feedback, speculation on this. What has happened to the dead Grey Knights? See ya. Have a great day, evening, night, where you're around the world, and bye-bye.